Hi, I'm Christine Eyck, a landscape architect with Eyck Landscape Architects. We're excited to be here today to share with you our progress on Harwood Park, and we're anxious to get your comments. This presentation will focus on opportunities the park has to become a downtown community gathering and play space with unique connections with nature, incorporation of existing significant buildings with recreational and passive court, and striking views to nearby architecturally significant structures. We want to celebrate the cultural memory of this rich and powerful lifeway in downtown Dallas. The pink represents where our 4-acre park in the southeastern part of downtown Dallas is. We're close to the farmers market and have great views of downtown. And downtown Dallas does have green spaces and parks, but you can see that in this part of downtown, we need more park space, more green. When you look at all of the residential development in yellow around our park site, you can see that this will be an important neighborhood park for surrounding residential development. The blue outline depicts the Harwood Historic District of which our park is a part. We have several significant historic buildings on site, some of which are privately owned. These will be saved in place. The green building is the old Metropolitan that you may remember. We have great views at our site of surrounding skyline and existing historic buildings such as the First Presbyterian Church and the Scottish Rite. Whenever we work on a project, we are very inspired by the natural history of our sites, and especially here at Harwood Park. Believe it or not, in prehistoric times, Dallas was populated by various dinosaurs, including the woolly mammoth, and we'll show you how we're hoping to incorporate this later. You can see our site in pink in this 1878 map of downtown Dallas. Harwood Park and downtown were and still are part of the Trinity River watershed. We love to think of ways to tell this story of water in the park. The rich Trinity forest that still exists on the river, as well as glimpses of it that you see in the tributaries in Dallas, will be an inspiration also for our park plant palette. We also love to dig into the historic cultural past of the sites we work on. You can barely see the new Harwood Park site in pink in this cool historic map from 1872. Harwood Park can tell a story that spans the last 150 years, from tributary to the Trinity River, to residential neighborhood, to automobile service industry, to film industry, full circle to its present role as a contemporary residential enclave for downtown living. In 1911, you can see from this photo of the groundbreaking for the First Presbyterian Church that our park site was still primarily residential. You can see the Scottish Rite in the background. In 1930, commercial uses were quickly replacing residential homes. In this view, the Lone Star Gas Building is prominent, and the south view focal point of the Presbyterian Church on the left. This view is standing by the First Presbyterian Church in the 60s, looking down Wood Street, which we are removing to create a more continuous park. You can see the 412 building that shares the park site and the Metropolitan, which will be restored for park uses. These are some of the existing views today. The large image to the left shows Wood Street, which will be removed, and that's where our pedestrian promenade will go through the park. And finally, to the park design. We really want to get your thoughts here. Our current plan centers around a great lawn surrounded by a multitude of active and passive uses, as well as preserved existing buildings. I will take you around the park clockwise, starting at Harwood Plaza entry to describe the various park elements. The Harwood Plaza will be an inviting threshold into the park with a new iconic shade structure in view from the intersection of Harwood and Jackson. You can see Jackson to your left in this view and our new gold ring arbor inviting you into the park. The gold rings were salvaged off the old Statler parking garage, and we will reuse these to make our arbor, creating a shaded court that can be used for gatherings. We're proposing a movie camera to be placed on top of the arbor to show movies and/or light installations in the park that recall both the movie industry as well as artists that used to live in the 312 building. Gold Ring Green is a smaller lawn area that can be used for smaller gatherings, yoga, and movie viewing. The Great Lawn is approximately 1 acre. Many of you said this is an important feature for downtown urban dwellers. You can also see that we have created a shaded promenade through the park centered on a water harvesting rain garden with planting that will recall the Great Trinity Forest. We think it is important to show how plants can absorb and filter rainwater to thrive and help with flooding. This is a cartoon of how the drainage will work in the park by using a linear rain garden as a beautiful green infrastructure rather than putting rain in a pipe. Here we are looking over the rain garden promenade across to the Great Lawn. You can see the Lone Star Gas building in the background. The shady grove will be a place to relax under the trees and watch the activities of the park, play chess, or simply work on your laptop. Here you can see from the grove that we will enframe the historically significant Scottish Rite building. We were able to see some of the City of Dallas artifacts saved from historic buildings. In the grove, we're proposing to use some of these remnants of Dallas's architectural past in a low retaining wall. At the northeast entry to the park, we're proposing an entry feature of cooling water and a seating area, which serves as a threshold into the park and rain garden promenade. The play area currently includes, and I'm going to show you left to right, a small and large dog park, an interactive water feature, a unique play element fashioned after prehistoric woolly mammoths that used to roam the Dallas area, a tot lot play area, and a sport court. Along Harwood, we are restoring the facade of the old Petropolitan to be a park building, and to continue the feeling of the historic street, we are designing an arbor with columns and seating that is inspired by the 412 building. This and the restoration of the building facades helps reinforce the historic architectural presence on the street. And here is a view of the renovated existing building and the new arbor and seating along Harwood Street. Harwood Park has the opportunity eventually to connect to all of the exciting things happening in downtown Dallas through streetscape programs and pedestrian-oriented development. Hopefully you can see the potential opportunities the park has to become a downtown multi-generational community gathering and play space with unique connections with nature, the incorporation of existing significant buildings with recreational and passive courts, and the prospect of striking views to nearby historic structures. Thank you so much for your time, and we look forward to getting your thoughts. Goodbye.